As we're approaching the end of the year, this is the perfect time to hit that pause button, take a deep breath, and assess where you've been. Most importantly, this is the time to gear up, reflect, plan, and set the stage for the new year ahead. I'm Jasenia, your video podcast and marketing coach, and this is Focus in Bloom podcast. Today, we're talking about setting goals for the new year. And this is a time where you really want to delve into what you did over the year that worked well, that you would like to repeat next year, that you would like to improve, and what are those areas that maybe represent a little bit more of a difficulty, or maybe an area where you feel like you really would like to improve this for the following year. And there's a lot of things that we could do. However, it's always good to approach this with an open mind and be gentle with yourself, because we're not perfect. And this is part of how you are able to grow and improve both as a person as well as an entrepreneur and business owner. So I want to talk to you about a few things that you can think of as you're reflecting and planning for the year ahead. The first thing is you want to take a moment and actually reflect on the past year. Take a stroll down memory lane, and what were the things that were highlights of the year? What were the things that were more of a challenge for you? It's important to reflect on these specific moments because they can provide a lot of valuable insight. Maybe did you achieve a particular goal? Did you start something and completed a project that you set yourself for to do this year? What did you do? No matter how big or small, celebrate those wins, because it is in those tiny wins that we really accumulate and have these really big wins and really huge impacts and changes in our lives. The next one is assessing personal growth. Think about, did you learn something new this year? Did you start and complete a project? Did you maybe hit a milestone that you set yourself for a goal for this year that you had set that the year prior? What did you do that you feel that has helped you grow as a person, as an individual? The next one is finances and career. Take a look at your budget. Did you stick to it? Did you have any unexpected expenses? How do you feel about your overall finances? Do you feel that you were able to hit those goals that you set at the beginning of the year, or maybe you were close to it? All these little things, you want to write them down so that you can then have a big picture of what goals you would like to set for the new year. The next one is health and well-being, and I could not stress this enough. Your well-being is priceless. How is your physical and mental health? Did you prioritize self-care this year? As an entrepreneur, it is super easy to neglect yourself and just say, oh, I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I don't mind not sleeping. I don't mind sleeping like an hour. Don't worry. No. Your personal health is essential. What did you do this year to being happy and healthy? And what can you do in the following year to continue that or to improve that? The next one is relationships, connections. How were your connections, your friendships, your relationships this year with your family, your friends, your colleagues? Did you nurture those connections? One of the things that was super fun for me this year was that I was able to finally hang out with my best friend, who I have not seen in almost 11 years because we live in different states, and just we haven't had the chance to meet and hang out since her wedding. So it was such a fun experience to be able to hang out with her, even for just one day. She came to my house, she stayed here for an overnight, and that was it. And that was exciting because we had not seen each other, and it felt really great being able to connect with her. And later on, I was able to hang out with another friend who I had not seen in like 5 years. So it was really special to be able to connect again with my friends. So ask yourself, how are your relationships and where would you like them to be next year? Do you want to be able to hang out more? So what can you do to prioritize that time out with your best friends? What can you do to nurture those relationships and those connections? Now, the next thing is that we're going to be doing is, let's start with the plan. So now that you've looked at the past year and reflected on that, let's gear up for the new one. So the first thing that you need to do is setting goals for the new year. What are your aspirations? What are your goals for the new year? You have to be specific and you have to be bold. It could be a career goal, a business goal, a project, self-improvement, anything like that. In a previous episode, and I'm going to include that in the description here, I talked about setting smarter goals. Smarter goals comes from the term specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, time bound, and then evaluate and reassess. This is a framework that can help you set your goals in a way that is realistic and can work for you specifically in your needs and your goals. So be sure to check out that episode so that you can learn more about how to set your smarter goals. Now, the next one is creating an action plan because you can have the most beautiful spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. You can have the most beautiful looking spreadsheet or mood board with all the beautiful pictures of all the things that you want to do and accomplish in the new year. But if you do not have an action plan, that mood board or that spreadsheet or whatever list you have of things to do, it's just that. So make a plan and go back to that smarter goals episode because this is how you're actually setting the plan. You may have, let's say, 10 goals that you want to achieve. You're not probably going to achieve those at the same time, all of them together. So, because that's just not realistic. You want to be able to set realistic goals and little milestones that will help you get closer to each and one of those goals. And then maybe you have a milestone and you don't reach it at the time that you set that goal for, then that's a perfect example of why you should then reassess where you are at that moment, and then replan, assess where you are at that moment, and then plan so that you can continue staying on track with your goals and your milestones. As you reflect on this past year and set the goals for the new one, make sure you are stepping into this new year with purpose and intention. Always ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? And have that as your guide to help you make the decisions that you're doing so that you are able to reach those goals and know that you are doing so with a purpose and an intention in mind behind it. And remember, be kind to yourself. Life isn't perfect, but it's full of amazing opportunities. So be mindful of what you're doing, your goals, and make sure that you're stepping into this new year with purpose and intention. I'll see you on the next episode and on the new year. Take care.